Hey girls, Tiffany Dawn here, and I have pulled my hubby James back into this video. He's so kind. He's on his lunch break from work right now eating, and I asked him if he would just kind of chat with us. So basically this video is for girls like me who, when I was in high school and college, I had these, and most of my 20s, I had these like 3 questions. Number 1, why am I still single? Number 2, why doesn't anybody ask me out? And number 3, why doesn't anybody like me? And I just felt kind of like left out. Like all my girlfriends were like—
By anybody, do you mean guys, right?
Oh yeah.
But sometimes people say that, but what they really mean is the guys that I think I like don't like me back.
Right, exactly. So we're gonna talk about that today. I have 4 tips for you, and James is gonna add his 2 cents in. And these 4 tips are just things that can maybe help, like if you're kind of feeling stuck, like no guys are interested in you. These are 4 things that you can try that might actually help. So tip number 1 is be open, like be friendly. I realized that I kind of was just walking around with this like stone cold face toward guys, and really I was so scared of rejection that if I liked a guy, there was no way I was gonna let him know I was interested by my actions, because I was so scared of being rejected and I just couldn't handle that. And so I just kind of was mean or like cold toward them. And I remember like in later years, actually, this guy who I'd actually liked back then, we got reconnected, and as we were talking, he's like, you know, I almost asked you out back then, or I wanted to ask you out back then. And I was like, why didn't you? And he goes, I don't think there was any chance you'd say yes based on like how you treated me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
That's such a good story. I feel like this happens all the time between guys and girls, and it's kind of like this emotional game of chicken. It's like, well, I would like to ask her out, but I really don't want to be rejected, so I'm just gonna like observe, and maybe I can like see the signs if she likes me.
Yeah.
It takes a lot for a guy to ask a girl out.
Yeah.
Guys hear stories about rejections. Guys have probably been rejected a couple of times. Like, we're scared. So,
and sometimes
the friendlier you can be, the easier it's going to be for us to be like, talking to her, and do you want to meet me for ice cream? And you sort of have to like squeeze it out.
Yeah. I don't think girls realize that enough, like how scary it is for guys.
No idea.
Because like guys seem like they have no emotion sometimes. Like
not
honestly.
True. We just don't know how to express it.
Yeah. So I think that's really important to know. And I found like the more approachable we can be in our demeanor, like even ask some of your honest friends, like how do I come across to strangers or to guys? Like, am I coming across like a mean person, or am I like smiling and like open to talking with them and like easier to talk to? I think that just makes it a whole lot easier for a guy to work up the courage to ask you out. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So tip number 2 is expand your horizons a little bit. So I always had like this certain kind of guy that I wanted to go out with. I wanted to go out with a guy who was 6 feet.
Not a James lookalike, by the way.
Well, in some ways. I mean, you have dark hair and dark eyes, which I wanted, and like tan-ish skin or olive skin.
Yeah.
But you were not 6'3", which is what I wanted.
Nope.
But it's
Be
kind
nice
of,
if I was.
Well, it's kind of nice that you're not, because like guys I dated who were over 6 foot tall, like trying to kiss them was like put a kink in your
That's why you go to the chiropractor so much now. All makes sense.
And I wanted him to play guitar, which he does not, and be a worship leader and like a youth leader and stuff like that. So I definitely was looking for like this very specific type of guy. When I was in my 20s, I was like, wow, I'm going to all these different events and I'm meeting all these different guys, and I keep coming home and saying, there's no good guys out there. But what I'm really saying is, there's no good guys who are 6'3" and play guitar and lead worship. And that might have been true, that there were no single ones left. But like, I was way too narrow in my focus, and I really needed to expand my horizons. But I think sometimes we like narrow our options so much in looking for something so particular that we pass by amazing guys. Now, it's important to be attracted to the person, absolutely. But like, you can be attracted to more than one type of person.
That is true. And I know even one of my friends who is single is, I think most people would agree, is a pretty attractive human being. And all of Tiffany's friends want to meet him.
That's so true.
But they don't know him at all.
Yeah.
They just see his picture on social media, and they're
so
like,
angry.
yeah, we want to meet him. But they have no idea what he's like.
Yeah.
Like, it's very shallow. Like, guys do the same thing. But like, you're not truly going to be attracted to someone until you know them.
Yeah.
Through personal interaction.
Yeah.
It's so important.
It's important for girls to realize too, like, we get frustrated with guys because we're like, why do guys just go after the cute, popular girls? Like, it's not fair. Why isn't anyone interested in me? But girls, we do the same thing to guys so many times.
Well, I think every person is sort of inclined to do that.
That's true.
On some level.
And it's just something to be like really careful about and just aware of. I realized I didn't even notice other guys in the room if they didn't meet my mold, and I had to open my eyes and literally like open my peripheral vision to be able to notice these other guys and even get to know them. And I'm so glad I did, because I really like being married to him.
Yep.
So
still can't play guitar.
Tip number 3 is like go out in places where you can kind of meet more people. I think it's
and different kinds of people.
Yeah, like get involved in different circles, because I think it's really easy to just like want to spend all your time, fill it all with girls' nights, and that's fun. But if that's all you do with your time, where do you expect to meet guys? Yeah, or get to
we do
know
not attend
guys.
girls' nights.
Yeah, that's true. You have man cave nights. I'm always like, where are all the guys? They're all together, all the good guys. If you find one, there's a pack of them. I'm like convinced of it. But yeah.
There is some truth to that.
So I think it's important to like actually like get to know different people, like hang out with friends from work, hang out with friends from church, hang out with friends from school, and just like, you know, bring a girlfriend with you and go and just join them and get to know new people and their circles and kind of, I don't know, it also expands your horizons.
Yeah. Try to regularly meet new people. Many of them you won't connect with, and that's totally fine, but you'll probably end up making some new friends.
Yeah. And that can be really scary for someone who like doesn't like, who isn't an extrovert. Like James is 100% extroverted. I'm not.
People.
Yeah, for real though. It's like the Energizer Bunny. But for me, like I don't love just meeting new people all the time. It's like super draining and nerve-wracking.
But if you plan for it,
yes,
and you don't do it super regularly, as in you do it like once every other week,
and if you have like structure. So like I remember joining this Bible study for a while, and it was like with a different church, and I had a couple of friends who went to it, and so I went, and I was very clear, I'm only here for this section, and I was very honest with myself and my friends. I was only there to meet any cute guys there. I shouldn't say just cute. It was true at the time, but to meet guys, it should have been just guys, yeah. And then tip number 4 is a surprising one, which is you can ask the guy out. That's totally fine.
We are fine with that.
Yeah.
I speak for the entire male race. Not really, but sort of. You know, it's if a girl asks you out, or like doesn't say, would you like to go on a date with me? But more like, hey, do you want to like study sometime, or do you want to get some coffee? You know, you're like, oh, they like me.
It's
That's
like
great.
a less subtle clue that they can start to pick up on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We don't do subtle.
Yeah.
I definitely speak for the male race there.
And I think sometimes girls get kind of hung up on the idea of, but the guy has to pursue me.
Yeah, but being pursued is like something you see over a period of time, like months.
Yeah.
Like if you look back over the last 4 months and you don't feel like you're being pursued, that's one thing. Who asks who on the first date? Not a big deal.
Yeah. And really, like, I think both people should also be pursuing each other. Excuse me, as I'm like hiccuping. If only one person is pursuing, even if it is the guy, that's going to be a miserable relationship. So those are our 4 tips. And in closing, let me just say, like, girls, if you feel this way, there are so many girls who feel this way. I want you to know you're not alone. And guys too, yeah.
On a serious note.
Because, like, I think it's easy to think we're the only ones left. Like, I'm the only one who's never been asked out. I'm the only one who's never had a boyfriend. Like, what's wrong with me? And you're not the only one. There are so many girls who feel that way. And I personally know, like, several of them.
Yeah.
And they're amazing girls. And they are in that same place. And it's tempting to ask, like, what am I doing wrong? And I think if you're doing these 4 tips and you're open to, you know, what God has and not like kind of hiding in fear, I think you're fine. And also that like your worth can't come from guys, which sounds so cheesy and church talky, but like truly it's real. Like even being married, I always thought, you know, being married, like then I'll have this husband who like helps me find all my worth and he like loves me so much. And even though James is a wonderful husband and does love me so much, like when I try to look to him for my sense of like worth and who I am, it like falls short. Like he cannot give that to me. I have to find that in God. And I know that it's hard to hear when you're single because you're like, yeah, but it's easier at least when you're married. And yeah, it's nice to be married. And I love that like affirmation from him. But like at the core, it cannot fill any void in me. And so I think like right now, like finding that in Christ is huge. Even though it sounds really cheesy, it's huge.
Yeah, and I think all of us are sort of on different timelines, and no one timeline is better or worse than another. You know, sometimes we think, oh, it'd be so cool to marry someone, you know, your high school sweetheart. And that is wonderful. But also for people like Tiffany and I who met in our late 20s, it's been wonderful for us too. And we think, oh, if we dated in high school, we would have fought for like 10 years.
We would not have even lasted a day.
Yeah.
And
That's
plus,
true.
like, we got to have so many adventures in the meantime. Like, he got to travel around South America for a year and, like, build a tree house, Airbnb kind of thing, and, like, go on, like, work on a sheep farm in Patagonia and, like, all this
Yeah,
cool
and Tiffany
stuff.
got to travel and tour, and, you know, that's,
Yeah.
you know, we just had amazing experiences
Yeah.
in our single years with God.
So I just want to encourage you, like, don't feel like you're being left out, even though it feels like that sometimes. I really think that this season can also be a gift, even though it's hard. So I have some videos linked down below about that. One is what I wish I knew when I was single, and one is to all the single girls, and they kind of share my own experiences more with this. So girls, I hope that those 4 tips can help in some way and that this can encourage you. Comment down below if there's anything you would add to this list, and we will see you again soon. Love you girls. Bye.
Bye.